What is up, everybody? It's Dr. Vibe, the host and producer of the award-winning Dr. Vibe Show, the home of Epic Conversations, and I'm the host of Epic Conversations, 2020 Best Podcast News Award winner, 2018 Innovation Award winner given out by the Canadian Ethnic Media Association. I also co-host and co-produce the only online show in the world for dads and fathers that is sponsored by Dove Men Plus Care. And as always, I'd like to say you're blessed, highly favored, a magnet for miracles, and a solution for someone's problem. We're broadcasting live on Remembrance Day in Canada, and let's just give tribute and thoughts during the day, and if we can, every day, in regards to those who have served to give our freedom in Canada. So I just want to put that out. And it's November 11th. We still have somewhat of warm weather in Toronto, but the cold weather there is coming. So I'll get it while you can. Well, you know what? The main reason we are here today, and if you don't know why we're here today, we're going to play a little video to tell you why we're here today. So after the video, we'll come back and we'll get right into ByBlacks Restaurant Week.
Why is a restaurant week your favorite time of the year?
All right, it is next week, and it can't come soon enough. ByBlacks Restaurant Week, Fall Edition 2022, and I'm going to bring up the co-founder and publisher of ByBlacks.com, Black Canada's #1 online magazine. Good morning, Roger Dundas.
Hey, good morning, sir. Can you hear me?
How are you? How are you?
I am feeling hungry today. I haven't had any breakfast yet.
Just today? Just
yeah,
today.
But right now, I'm feeling hungry right now. So you know what that means. I'm going to go sample some restaurants today.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's what you usually do on a Friday, eh?
That's what we do on a Friday, yeah. But today, I'm going to make some extra stops.
Okay. So I want to do two-part little question for you, then we'll get it how our guests on.
Sure.
Give people a little bit of background of ByBlacks.com and then a little bit of background on Restaurant Week.
How much time do we have?
Well, we have two friends waiting, so we want to showcase them. So I'm going to leave it in your hands, because if they get upset, they're not going to push it on me. They're going to push it on you.
Absolutely. So ByBlacks.com is it's an online magazine that's focused on telling Black Canadian stories. So we have an authentic voice of utilizing Black Canadian writers to talk about Black Canadian stories. 100% of our writers are Black Canadians. So that's what we've been doing. We're going to celebrate 10 years
Yes.
Next year, February the 17th, will be 10 years that we have
Wow.
been around. And we survived.
No,
We
no,
survived.
you've thrived. I would
Yes,
say
we
you've
survived, and we
thrived. You've
thrived through a
thrived.
pandemic and unsurety and staff shortages and all those things. We actually survived through everything, and that's just keeping things lean, right? So that's what it's all about. Keep your business lean, and you will survive. The second thing is, we started out, as people know, 2013, and really just to fill a void that we had seen at the time. As I said, one of the greatest catalysts for the creation of ByBlacks.com was the shutdown of Sway magazine that was run by Toronto Star. So
Yes.
Sway was a beautiful magazine that showcased Black Canadian excellence, and I think that when that went away, we didn't want to do something in print, so we figured, how can we replicate this quality online? So that's what we've been doing from 2013. So this ideation of the restaurant week and supporting the food business, and I always want to just mention that I checked it this morning. I think the number was 4,794 businesses that we have on our business directory. Right, we have the largest assembly of Black-owned businesses in Canada, anywhere, on any site, anywhere, right? So I'm looking at that list and then I'm juxtaposing it with a number of food businesses. So food is restaurant, bakery, and caterers. And I think that number was 850, somewhere around that region. So what to say all of that, the fact is that a Black entrepreneur who's going into business is 20% likely to go into a food business. 20%, around about 20%. So 1 in 5 entrepreneurs starting out, they're going to go into a food business. So it's a very important number. It's the biggest number. It's the largest number of any single category on our directory. The only thing that's close to that, I think, is realtors or mortgage brokers. I'd have to double check it. But so if you think about that in terms of supporting an industry, if we have this ability to corral the troops, so to speak, to get people on board to support an industry that is essential for human survival. Let me stop and say that again. It is essential for human survival. We have to eat food, right? And I would say, and I say it all the time, that Black people love to eat our own food. If you're from Ghana, you want to eat your Ghanaian food. If you're Nigerian, you want to eat your Nigerian food. So yes, we are here. We are from the diaspora. We're in the diaspora. We are the diaspora, right? But we still want to enjoy our food from home, from yard, as Jamaicans would say, right? So that's the whole concept of Restaurant Week, is to promote the restaurants that are doing that, right? By assembling, working with the Black community associations, the national ones, the regional ones. We work with our peers in the Black media, so Black owned media, because when you reach out to media that's not Black owned, they don't have the same um, interest in supporting it. They are just still saying, "Hey, I want some money." But our Black-owned media, we get it because we're going to the restaurants and we're seeing what they're experiencing. So big shout out to Fever TV, Afro Global, GBKM, Caribbean Camera, and the Dr. Vibe Show, right, for supporting us, right? So I know I'm forgetting some people, but there are other podcasters. There's also What's Cooking with Chef Noel, an amazing podcast, is talking to different restaurant owners, and of course the Charles Matthews Show. He has been killer on promoting the restaurants as well. So we work with the media, we work with the Black community associations, and then we also try to work with the tourism associations that support the different cities. So Destination Toronto, big shout out to Manisha there, who has come on board to really amplify the restaurants that are located in Toronto. And then we're also getting a little bit of support from Tourism Montreal, and trying to see what can happen with Destination Vancouver and Tourism Ottawa. Right. So I know that even Discover Halifax, they said, look, we will help you to get the restaurants to participate in this. They
Nice.
have already said that.
Nice.
So
Nice.
everybody values it, because restaurants is community, right? It's how people congregate, it's how people socialize. We socialize around food,
Yeah.
So that's what the whole impact is. It's all about creating culture and food and promoting, of course, our very own Black restaurants, caterers, pop-ups, and food trucks.
Well, I think you covered everything in my two questions. So I love it. Fantastic. And just want to just say to people, if you're watching this live or replay, there is a link to find out information about Restaurant Week. It'll be on and off during our conversation. But we have two new friends to me. You know them both, but two new friends for me today on the Morning Vibe. We have Chef Riza and Chef Rachel.
Hi.
Hey, how we doing, ladies? Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. And how are things in your world?
Great. Excellent.
Fantastic. That's a great. Okay, so what I'm going to ask is, we'll have Chef Riza share a little bit about her and her little organization. Then we'll go to Chef Rachel, and then we've got some questions for both. And anyone who's watching live, please feel free to put in questions, comments on whatever platform you're watching, and we'll share them with our friends here today. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to Ottawa first. Chef Reza, please share a little bit about your lovely food business.
Good morning, Dr. Vibe and Chef Rachel and Roger. Thanks so much for having us today. So greeting you from the colder spot in Ottawa. So I'm the executive chef and founder of Bacchanal Taste the Caribbean Lifestyle. So we specialize in Caribbean lifestyle foods, traditional foods, as well as a bit of a fusion take. We have a very strong founding and grounding in farmers markets. So we like to also incorporate some of that local food scene into what we're bringing to our customers. We do catering, take-home foods, delivery, pop-ups, demos, and foodie gifts. So we're really excited to be part of Restaurant Week, Black Restaurant Week by ByBlacks.com for the third year. And
Okay.
looking forward to everybody enjoying all of the great food that we've got to offer.
Excellent. And before we get Rachel to share, we have another friend coming on. Sharon Johnson. Good morning, Sharon.
Good morning, everyone. How are you guys doing?
Outstanding. We'll get you settled first. We're just doing introductions, so we'll have you on in just a moment. But thanks for taking the time to be on. Chef Rachel, it is your turn.
Okay. Well, good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for having me. I'm very excited to be talking about food with very excitable Black folks who also care about food like I do. So I'm the chef and owner of the Abibiman Project, which I've created as a food social enterprise that's all about sharing African flavors. So I have a line of spices, I make chocolate bars, I do sauces,
Wow.
I will do pop-ups and pastries, specials, I do catering, I do cooking demos and workshops, and it's all grounded in the idea of me getting African flavors to you any way possible. So you have no excuse to not want to try them. I'm giving you all the options, and it's fun for me too, as a chef, to kind of just play around with people's perception of African food and reconnect people to flavors they grew up with. So yeah, that's all about me, and I'm based in Toronto as well. Well,
so
yes.
Rachel, so Dr. White, if I can say one thing,
Absolutely.
Isn't Caribbean food is based on African food?
Correct.
Right, so this is not, it's not the other way around. It's that Caribbean food's origins comes from Africa, and I can taste that in the food that I got from you recently. So I just wanted to just interject that right now. Yes.
Yeah, well, actually, the name of my business, like Ebibiman, means land where Black people originate. So realistically, it does not limit me to the African continent, but my field of expertise lies in the African continent. I need to outsource some friends from the Caribbean to kind of give me extra tips. But yeah, we're all connected in our foods for sure.
100%.
Okay. Fantastic. Well, it is Sharon's time to share a little about her wonderful enterprise. Go ahead, Sharon.
I am the owner and operator of Potluck Restaurant. We have 6 locations.
Wow.
Waterloo, Young Street, Britannia in the Industrial, Derry and McLaughlin, Dunderson Highway 10, Meadowville Town Center. I started actually in the 5 and 10 area, um, in the Newin Center, and I saw where, it wasn't just me serving that Caribbean flavor, that nice jerk chicken, but it helped me to kind of reach out to the youth. I had a lot of school kids and they would come and, some needed stuff. So I would, in a humble way, help them. Sometimes I get a chance to meet their parents. So for me, it's not just about serving food, but just being there in the community, really. Um, I am presently franchising, but just to employees who are really good, high on customer service, humble, and shares my core value, really. So that's where I'm at. I guess, we don't have a lot of time. So I'm happy to be a part of Restaurant Week. At least it will help me to, do more, basically. But thank you guys very much for having me today.
No, our pleasure. And I just need to ask, I know in general, when you work in this industry, you don't get a lot of sleep. But Sharon, you've got 6 locations. When do you sleep?
You know what? I still get some sleep, not enough sometimes, but God is my guide. I can sleep in any place. I can close one eye and get some rest, one eye at a time. Trust me.
Okay. All
But God is
right.
my guide. God is my guide, and I really love what I do.
Yeah.
So that helps me a lot. For me, it's not just about the money. I really get satisfaction from watching the customers when you give them that food, and it's so nice. You can see them, the expressions on their face. Plus, again, like I said, it helps me to reach out to people, in a very humble way, listen to their story, try to help whichever way I can while I give them something to eat.
Nice. All right. Fantastic. Well, thank you for the intro. So we have some general questions that I'm just going to put out there. And I know Roger will interject too. That
Yes.
and it doesn't matter who wants to answer in what order. So the first question I have for each one of you is, where does your passion for food come from?
I can start. For me, I just always loved food, and I still do. But when I was a kid, I was really, really picky. And so I just felt bad having my mom have to prepare different food for me instead of like my siblings. And so I learned how to cook, and I was the kid coming to school at lunch, and I had my thermos and my little containers and a whole setup because I was not going to be eating a sandwich for lunch. I I was like, if I'm eating, I want to enjoy it. And so just from there, like it grew that I always had this fixation on like, if one thing's gonna bring me joy in life, it will be food. And so yeah, that's what I connected to. And my mom, obviously. My mom always inspires me with her food. So I still use her recipes to this day.
Mm-hmm. I would say that similar to Rachel, my parents have been the original inspiration for me for food. Of course, growing up in a West Indian, a Black household, everything is made from scratch, certainly from my generation. And so at a very young age, I used to see my parents cooking and want to try and take it over and explore it. And I was always the one that was making little snacks from the time I was, just out of preschool for my younger sister, and making the birthday cakes for my younger siblings, and really, kind of being one of the centers for the food in our family as I got older. And even though this is not my original career, I ended up switching over as a result of a major change in my career a number of years ago. And for me, food is definitely something that's a comfort and a solace. And so I look to help people, I wouldn't use the word heal, but certainly be comforted and feel better when they're tasting my food and really enjoy it. That gives me pleasure as well.
All right.
Yeah, for me, it's the same line. I grew up with my grandmother and was always in the kitchen with her. At that time, she had like, it's not like a stove, it's like a fireside with some sticks, and then on top, there's the tree firestone. And I really enjoyed helping her. Like sometimes I have to climb up because I was so, short, so I'd have to climb up on the fire, on the fire. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about. It's almost like they would call it what it looks like almost like a coal skill. You have sticks, and then on the top you have, tree stones.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I was very fascinated at that time with that. And when she's not feeling well, I was the one who would, make the dinners from I was maybe about 13, 12, 13, somewhere about there. I enjoyed making the potato pudding with we'll put like a tinning on top of that pudding pan, we would call it, and with the coal on top of it. So from then, I realized that that's something that I really wanted to do. And growing up, making people feel happy, because, sometimes, food draws everybody together. So that's where I got that intrigue from.
And, and and then I learned just last week when I went to a potluck that Sharon is from Portland as well. There's a beautiful picture of
Yeah, I'm
Portland,
from St. Thomas.
which is my favorite place in Jamaica to visit. And I saw
Yeah.
that beautiful picture of the beach and everything. I was like, wow, we had a whole long conversation just about Portland and the origins
Yeah,
of food
Roger,
from
I'm
there.
from St. Thomas, but I
Yes,
love Portland.
yes, yes, yes.
Yes.
All right, good. And someone shouting you out here, Sharon Ray from the Macmillan Group. Good morning. Continued success to Sharon and Potluck. She is a staple in the Meadowville community and my go-to for ackee and saltfish.
Oh,
There we go. So I have a question for all of you that just come up in the conversation. How important has your parents or grandparents been to your success today?
Mhm.
very.
100%. 100%. I want to say that, my parents, they emigrated from Trinidad and Tobago, not together. They didn't know each other in Trinidad and Tobago, coincidentally. My dad came here to go to school, emigrated to Winnipeg, and my mother, via London, ended up emigrating to Winnipeg to continue working as a nurse. And they were on their own. They had to work so hard to create a life for themselves for many years. They drew on their friends locally for support. Eventually, my grandparents came down from time to time to come and support them. We went back to Trinidad actually for some time, as is often the case, while my parents needed to, do some more work here. But they worked incredibly hard and put themselves through school. Between them, I think they had 6 degrees, and what I remember from my parents is work and study, and putting in that work ethic and the hard effort, and striving for excellence. You don't always get there, but you need to try.
Excellent.
Yeah, for me, my mom is everything. She's my number one support. She is my spice packer. She's my ride. She's my cheerleader. She's my business partner. Everything that like she instilled in me growing up, like to have like a hard work ethic and to really care about people and be kind and look at things from different perspectives. She's the person who really pushes me day to day. I talk to her even when I don't need to. I'm calling my mom every few days to give her an update on things that are going on if I'm not seeing her. And, I look at her and I just see like a hero. She is the person that I look to for inspiration when I'm feeling like, oh, I should take a break. No, I should not, and I cannot until I bought my mom a nice house. So she is my everything, and I'm so grateful to have such a strong woman to look up to.
Mhm.
For me, it's my grandmother and my father. My grandmother is always saying, things that I'm using right now. Like she'll say, know your business and your business let your business know you. I use that today because if I didn't know what I am doing, you know, I wouldn't get this far because a lot of times, people have to do other stuff. They can turn up. But because I know what I'm doing, I'm able to, just jump in and fill in, go in overdrive. And she's always saying the darkest part of the night is just before daylight.
Yeah.
So I know when the struggle comes, there's going to be better soon. So, and my father is always saying to me, don't muff the catch, which means when opportunity comes, don't play around,
Yeah.
you know. And he's always saying, when you want to get to the bullseye, you have to put more effort because as it loses your hands, it loses gravity. So you have to put more into whatever you want in order to get to what you want. So
Nice.
Wow.
No, there's some
Awful.
knowledge bombs that were dropped there. Like I love that. Know your business and have your business know you. I like
Yeah.
that was one of the many powerful things. Roger, did you want to add anything? Because I saw you writing down
Yeah,
stuff.
I was writing down the quote, know your
Yeah, your
business and let your
business.
business know you.
Business know you.
I really, really love that one.
Who
Um,
wants to catch?
I want to highlight right now that there are three amazing, powerful, purposeful Black women running restaurants on this interview right now, and I just want to acknowledge that because oftentimes a lot of people don't really see that. We don't see that often. Like I went to Montreal and I didn't find a Black female-owned restaurant. I didn't find one. They were all male run, which I was a
I
little
know one
disappointed
for
about.
you to check out next time.
Tell me which one it is.
La Virunga.
Love it. Yes, I didn't. They were closed.
Oh,
They were
that's a shame.
closed.
Their
Right,
food
right,
is
right.
excellent.
Yes, I've heard. I've heard. So I know that's on my list. Next time when I go there, I'll go to Montreal Wednesday to Saturday instead when all the restaurants are open. But yeah, I didn't get to Lavarunga.
All right, good stuff. Well, let's have a next question for our ladies roundtable. What was the main reason you wanted to open your business?
Hmm. Um, I can start. For me, I worked as a chef for many years and a pastry chef, and I realized that I never cooked Black food. Like I had never had the opportunity to professionally cook food that represented me or anybody who looked like me. I'd never worked in kitchens with other Black people unless those Black people were like dishwashers. There were never people who I could look up to, you know, that were inspirations the way that I needed for myself. And in 2020, after protesting for Black voices to be heard, I thought to myself, how can I connect food and activism together? And using my skills, my culinary skills, I decided I could tell stories with my food. And so I wanted to spotlight underrepresented food along with underrepresented people to kind of make a statement. And so my business actually started as a fundraiser for African Food Basket. And I was just doing little pop ups where I was making pots of peanut soup or curry, a few pastries, and some spices, and just selling them on the weekend and donating the funds. And over time, I donated almost like $9,000 to African Food
Oh,
Basket on these events alone. And so that's over the past 2 years. And so basically, people just loved what I was doing, and they wanted more. And so it became too much of an undertaking to do beside my job. So I moved into doing it full time and have like put all my heart and soul and energy into it because I now know that people care about the stories that I have to tell with these foods that people don't know, or the connections that people don't know exist between these foods, and opening people's eyes to what is so amazing about African cuisine and just Black food in general, and that it shouldn't be undervalued. And Yeah, for me, it's just about the representation, the sharing of the culture, re-inviting people into the community, and exposing new people to what we have to offer as a collective.
The powerful. Thank you for that share. Who's next?
For me, I just wanted to make a difference in my community in a humble way. I didn't start out wanting to do restaurant. It was my partner who started. I had to help him. At that time, I was in nursing. I would go to work at nights and then come in the morning, help, and go home, get some sleep. Then I realized that, you know what, this is what I wanted to do. Within a short period, he didn't want to do it anymore. But because I got so attached to the customers and was able to help the community in some ways, I decided this is the best thing. So then I, kind of pushed harder and then realized, you know what, stay here. This is you. I really enjoy it. So
Sharon, gotta ask you. I'm very curious because you got a whole set from nursing to restaurants. You're brave and you're strong.
yes, God has given me that strength. I'm really grateful.
Okay, all right, Chef Reza.
Well, I actually I was in a career actually as an engineer and a manager, director
Wow.
in the federal government.
Okay.
And I was swept out when there were some changes that happened. And it was very traumatizing for me because I was kind of a workaholic and had put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into that. And despite the fact that I had a lot of expertise in that area, I just really couldn't deal with that particular. I couldn't work in that area anymore. I had to kind of walk away. And to kind of save myself, I decided that I would immerse myself in my other passion, which was cooking, and I went to chef school. And my intention at that time, because I had managed quite a bit of management experience and also some high tech experience, I decided that I was going into the culinary field to be an entrepreneur. I was not that was my choice, and my primary goal was that I love to eat and I love to cook, but I also wanted to I wanted to create more lifestyle foods. So Black food, West Indian food with great lifestyle options. So we have a very strong menu around vegan options, gluten-free options, low carb. We also do things for people who we've done like a little recipe booklet for people with dealing with Crohn's and colitis. So in addition to the regular things, it's just kind of something that I'm very mindful about when I'm cooking is, instead of going vegetarian, we usually try to go vegan, when we're doing those kinds of options, just so that we can be as plant-based, be as healthy as possible while still delivering great flavor.
Wow. This is amazing because we have a pile of questions on top of the questions we were gonna ask. So, ladies, I hope you're ready because the morning show family is loving what you're sharing and they got questions. So let's keep it flowing. Let's talk about, when did you first open your business?
So 2017 is when prior to 2017, I was doing more kind of little bit around farmers markets and part-time and just coming out of chef school. But I would say 2017 is when we, incorporated and started, what is eventually come, what is Bacchanal now.
You went to chef school.
I did.
Wow. Serious.
Yes.
How was that experience?
I went to chef school because I wanted I wanted certain credentials because I felt like I could cook well, but I wanted to understand a little bit more around certain techniques. So chef school was very interesting. It gave me, though, a very firm foundation in, I would say, European origins of cooking.
Yes.
And I definitely I had a fantastic experience. I went to Algonquin in Ottawa, and because I was a mature student, I was able to relate with
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Well, we lost her, but I'm sure she'll be back. So, ladies, let's continue the flow. When did you first open your business?
I first opened November 6th, 2020. So I'm just past my 2nd year anniversary. I forgot to even celebrate because I've been so busy with everything. But
oh,
But you did. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Great. Okay, Chef Reza, you were in the middle of a journey and you jumped off, but you're back, so you can certainly complete what you were sharing with the family here.
I'll just make it short.
Okay.
So no, I went to chef school, and I was just saying that it gave me a firm grounding in European style cooking, and it has actually helped me to refine certain types of dishes. But at the same time, I'm just going to give an example, right? When we were cooking chicken at one point, I was washing my meat. And, my chef came running over. What are you doing? What are you doing? And I said, I'm cleaning the meat. Oh, you don't want to do that. You're rinsing off all the good stuff. I'm like, no, I need to do this. You know what I mean? So, sometimes I would kind of hide and wash my meat because
Yes,
really that's important.
Oh, fantastic. That's great. Sharon, when did you open up your empire?
I opened December 12, 1994.
Wow. Remember that first day?
Yes.
Okay. Anything you want to share? I don't know if I want you to share after that response.
Yeah, actually, I started, it was the restaurant was called Chicken Land. We took
Okay.
over from Jose, a Spanish guy. He was really tired and ready to, go. So he kind of gave a good deal, and we started there. His sister was the one training me, right? But she wasn't that good on English. So it's hard to understand what she's saying, right? Customer called in, they wanted a whole chicken, right? So she was saying, "What? You want the whole kitchen?" So, you know, it was very hard for me to understand what she was saying because at that time we didn't start off right doing Caribbean food. It was like ribs and fries and chicken land sandwiches and like that. So it was very hard for me to understand her because she was the one doing the training. So eventually I had to start, adding my own stuff, like doing a little bit of goat, doing a little bit of rice and peas, you know, doing a little bit of our stuff, just trying to figure out because at that time I wasn't really a bulk cook person, right? You know how to do for maybe 7 people, but so it was a little challenge, but I figured out how to just get around it. So eventually I just stopped doing their menu and started mine. you know it wasn't hard, like they didn't really put anything on saying you can't do this, you can't do that, and I realized, so I started doing my food, and eventually I changed it from chicken land to potluck.
Fantastic. Great. As we fly, because time is flying by, so we'll see how many questions we can get in. And I know, Roger, sometime you want each one of these wonderful ladies to share their menus too. So I don't know when you want to put that in.
I do have a question for Sharon, because here's an interesting thing too. Sharon, you have opened actually more locations than the 6 that currently exist. Can you talk about some of the other ones as well, like some of the locations that you tried? And
I had opened one in Edmonton, Alberta. Quite
Wow.
hate to fly, but I really had it. And during COVID, there were some challenges. And during COVID, I just decided, okay, this is not gonna work for me because at that time you can't go back and forth
Hmm.
as I couldn't go back and forth as I would love to, and it
Hmm.
was hard to really do it remotely. So I closed that one. I'd opened in Atlanta, Georgia.
Wow.
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 Yes.
That again, when I'm there, everything is fine, but when I leave,
Mm.
that's the problem. I opened one in Jamaica, Morant Bay, St. Thomas. That too, even though that's the route, you have to be there. I realize it's very hard to do it remotely unless you really get the persons who have the same drive and share the same core values as you.
Hmm.
So
So I also heard a story. I heard a story, and you can chime, you can validate if this is true or not. I heard
okay.
that you got a location recently on the Friday, and it was ready by the Sunday. So
Yes,
you set up the entire kitchen
yes,
and everything. You had it ready,
yes,
ready for
yes,
customers on the Monday.
yes. Actually, what happened, I had that location before. I tried to help someone and they were there and they realized, you know what, I can go do by my own now. And
Uh-huh.
then they gave it to me the Saturday. It was, yeah, the Friday night.
Friday night, yeah.
And by Saturday, I was in there, we cleaned up, and by Monday, we were ready. The bell guy came in and he said, "When are you going to open?" He was there on the Sunday. I said, "Tomorrow." He said, "What?"
So hold on, you're missing one. You're missing one. So there was another one because I used to go there all the time
Mhm,
in Albion Mall. You had a
mhm.
location in Albion Mall at one point.
Yes, yes, I missed that one. I had that one for over 15 years.
Yeah,
That
Wow.
one was a good one, but again, the area became, a little bit harder for me.
yeah.
And my employees, again, needed my help more,
Hmm.
and I wasn't able to. So,
Okay.
Yeah. So
yeah.
All
that's
right.
So
that's
I
that's
hold it for a while, though. It was over 15 years that I had that one for.
I
yeah,
Wow.
remember that location. I grew up in that part of the city, so
yeah.
Oh, okay.
See,
All
I would
right.
go there to visit YMCA. So the YMCA center there. So
Okay.
that's how I'd be there so regular. But yeah, I remember all the locations. I think I've pretty much been to all of them except for Atlanta and Edmonton.
Oh,
Yeah, there was one
okay.
on Murchie, on Murchie in Brampton too. That one I had handed it over to my sister, and then there were some challenges, and that one went.
Yeah.
Sorry to hear. Well, let's move on here. So,
Yes, sir.
what is for each of you? What is your food inspired by?
I can say mine is culture, history, my family's food stories, and just wanting to storytell and speak up for the community.
And I would say my cultural background, also my family, because I had picky children, and definitely wanted to look at options, looking at things like within our own community, different health issues, and wanting to create those options so we could all still enjoy our food. And also because I was born in Canada, so I definitely have that context. It's an undeniable part of me. And so I definitely look at some of the different interfaces and fusions between our traditional foods and, the Canadian experience and other cultures.
For me, it's just simply my love for people.
Mm, okay. All right. Fantastic. Okay. Gonna get to some questions from the family here. There are a few. Ray asks, as successful female entrepreneurs, where do you get your emotional support from when things aren't going the way you wish? And what keeps you going?
Who's gonna jump on that first?
For me, it's undeniably my husband and my sister. They are my emotional supports. And I would say that my family and my team who I'm very grateful to have had, a core team that has supported me for years. And they're the ones that keep me going.
I can say definitely my mom. She sees all the parts of the business, so she can understand. My brother, my sister, basically any of my close family and friends, they are always there to support me. I run the business basically alone, so any support that they can give me, I'm grateful for. And I just work with that energy, knowing that I have people supporting me no matter what.
For me, it's my sister, my friends, and my team members, my potluck team members, my A team members at
Aha,
potluck.
Ah,
18.
A team. The A team. All right. Roger, quick question for you. I didn't. It was in the chat. I don't know if you answered it or not, but there's a question here. What's happening in the Peel region?
Peel region in terms of restaurants participating.
Yes. Yeah.
So we got, of course, we have the 4 potluck locations. We also have Food Delicio. I believe they're in Brampton and Pier 1, Pier 120. They're also in Brampton, and Jamaica Restaurant on Kennedy, just south of Queen Street. They're also in Brampton as well, which I've had the pleasure of dining at before. What I want to ask, of course, I need to jump in and get this answered, right? So let's talk about this Prix Fixe menu, and let me just go alphabetically. So Rachel, let's talk about your Prix Fixe menu and what you have on it. Just describe the appetizer, entree, and the dessert.
Okay, I'll do a quick rundown because I have a lot. So, for the 2 options for appetizer, I have an okra salad, and
I
then
tasted that, by the way, and it's amazing. And
Thank
normally I
you.
don't like okra because it's too slimy, but that one was awesome. So continue. Sorry.
No, but that's exactly why I make it that way. My sister's
Yeah.
picky, so I created a dish she'd enjoy okra with.
Yeah.
And then I do fried plantain or plantain for my audience with my group here. That's we marinate it in Ghana with chili, ginger, and garlic.
Mm.
And then I do a Congolese Angolan fusion style roast chicken.
Oh.
I do some prawns cooked in like a hibiscus sauce. And then the option for dessert, one is a red palm and lime cake, and the other is a Somalian caramelized white chocolate curry brownie.
Okay, so hold on. Let me just say something. I bought food from her. I got the Prix Fixe. I took it home, and I don't know what happened to the chicken. I don't know. It just disappeared. I don't understand what happened. I put it down on the counter, and when I came back, it was done. That's what happened.
I'm
Right?
happy to
So
hear that.
I'm just letting you know that. All right. So next up, thank you. And the dessert, yes. The dessert, I got one piece. I said, I'm just gonna leave some for somebody else. And then when I came back, it was over. It was all gone. So Reza, tell me about your Prix Fixe.
So in addition to our regular menu, what we're featuring for ByBlacks Black Restaurant Week is our vegan dish, which is a vegan curry duo. So that's our bountiful vegan curry and a black lentil dal. And we're serving that with appetizers, including for both dishes. We have a vegan patties, we have a chickpea pylori, and we also have beef patties. And then with our dessert, and these are all things we make from scratch and served with our house condiments. And then for dessert, our options are Jamocha Me Crazy brownie, our vegan pina colada carrot cake, and a rum and raisin butter tart. And then for the non-vegan option, we're doing our kind of like shrimp on shrimp crimes, I like to call it. And so it's our coconut curry shrimp with pylori shrimp. And that's served with rice, coconut rice and peas, and then the same appetizers and dessert options.
So, right now I'm just envying Rosie Day because I know Rosie's gonna come over there and she's gonna be ordering it. I know that. And Adrian too. Adrian Harwood, right? Your people, your
I hope
peeps up in Ottawa. So Jesse Jones and myself, we were supposed to go up there to do some coverage, and I'm so sorry I couldn't make it. But I can you
Next time,
ship
next
it?
time.
No, I'm still trying to figure out, can it be shipped in a hot container? To
No. I want to say no.
That's
But
gonna be a hard no.
next
And you're open what days next week?
we're open Thursday to Saturday.
Thursday to Saturday. Jeez. Right. I can't make it.
Roger,
Can't
road
make it.
trip, one day road trip.
I'm trying to figure out if we can get there on Monday. She can do something special just for us. We'll take a drive down and come back up same day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Same, I've done that before. I've done
We can jump on a train. We can jump on
Yeah,
a
there
train
you
and
go.
just go have lunch and then come back. Sharon, hot luck. She's
Done with coconut milk. And for the main, it's gonna be jerk chicken, Barbie fried chicken with rice and peas, or festival. And dessert is gonna be Jamaican black cake. For appetizer too, it's gonna be mini reggae wraps.
reggae raps. All
okay.
right.
So you see now, Sharon, that Barbie jerk thing is legendary. I think that's what Ray McMillan is talking about there. He's talking about that Barbie jerk chicken because Sharon, when I used to go back on the road doing those promotions 12 years ago, I would stop at the potluck location. You say you don't operate from that location anymore. That one is just for like your home base. But I'd go there and I'd sit down by myself and just devour that chicken. I love it.
Wow. Okay. All right. Well, let's continue on. Question when I'm sure each of you can give good perspective on this. What are some of the challenges, obstacles, if any, you faced during the past few pandemic years?
I can say, as someone who started my business in the pandemic, that I don't have any reference other than the pandemic. So I just feel like I've experienced regular business startup struggles. And the main thing is, like, because people don't know African food, it requires a lot of explanation and conversation. So that's been a challenge, just trying to get people interested and invested over the internet versus being able to talk to them about it in person. So when I got the opportunity to do farmers markets and stuff, I was able to kind of reel people in. Or like if I did a collaboration with a bar, their customers got to experience what I had to offer. But I can't imagine what the challenge was like operating your business prior to the pandemic and having to switch into something else, where because I've existed only in this world, I've become very good at like pivoting my business as necessary, which is why I do a line of spices along with pop-up dinners and catering. It's because I want to make sure that I can't let anything stop me, essentially.
Teresa.
Well, I would say that we've kind of faced, I guess, some of the classic challenges. So, staffing shortages. We used to have in our previous location, we used to have a small dining area, which we had to open, close, open, close. And then in our particular location, it was in a professional building, and we essentially lost the opportunity for more than 80% of our revenues when the pandemic was declared, because our building essentially shut down in terms of clientele. At that time, we were not really that active in terms of delivery. There was no catering, no farmers markets, no special events. And so we had to essentially reinvent ourselves pretty much overnight. And then I would say one particular challenge we had is that Ottawa's on the border with Hull, Quebec, Gatineau, Quebec. And one of my staff members worked in Gatineau, and he would take the bus. And the border closed. I don't know if you're aware of that, but the border closed, and that it made it very difficult for anybody. It was a police crossing. It was like going to the U.S. And I was at the risk of losing my employee because he really could not feasibly get across. So I was driving every day
Wow.
East End to Quebec, picking him up, driving him home.
Oh.
And I did not like actually having to interact with police on a daily basis, twice a day. So that was special.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. Okay.
These stories are really, really, really impactful.
Yeah. Sharon?
Yeah, for me, it was definitely staffing. Sometimes it wasn't that hard because I was like fine dining, I was casual. So people will still come, but the challenge was to keep them to, a distance where everyone's safe. Some people wasn't really, cooperating. Oh, this, and for catering, I kind of pivoted and use a food truck where for funerals or if they're having birthdays, I just park at the side, have the prepackaged food, and each one would come up and take it. So that kind of helped. It was a challenge really doing, a volume of food on the truck, but that helped, so.
All right.
Wow.
Another question here. Now coming out of the pandemic, what have been the positive successes you've seen for your business?
I can excitedly say, because I actually forgot to say when I'm open. So I do a dinner series every Tuesday night in the Annex in Toronto. So I have the opportunity to take over a bar. So every Tuesday night, people can come in. The first week was this week, so I'm very excited for this to have launched. But I will be doing a different menu from a different African country every month is the idea.
Wow.
So 6 different dishes, 3 desserts. You come in, you pick what you want. I have an amazing bartender helping me create African-inspired cocktails. We're having African wines. And so the idea is to just give people, that beginning of the week excitement to come in and have amazing African food. And it's very exciting because this year I get a dine-in option for at least one day. But for Black Restaurant Week, where the Thursday to Saturday, it'll just be takeout only.
Right.
But either way, this dinner series is something that I'm very excited for because I get to cook for people again on a regular basis.
Congratulations.
Yeah, that's big. That's a big win.
Can we do that on Tuesday, Ed?
Yeah, I'm thinking that you and I are alleged minds. I was going what I'm gonna right after this. I'm gonna see what my calendar's.
Yeah, I have to check my calendar on Tuesday.
I want to check my calendar. Let's make that happen. I'm all over
what
that.
Time is it? Just to clarify.
5:30 to 11.
5:30 to 11.
To 11. That's
yeah.
And then you have to book a reservation.
You can book a reservation or you can just walk in. There's plenty of room for everybody.
Okay. And you'll
Roger,
give us the
Roger,
address?
my Tuesday's open. I just checked. Tuesday evening's open.
My Tuesday. Oh, I have soccer on Tuesday with
all right. Well,
the gentleman, but that finishes at 8, so I'm gonna have to do like a 9 o'clock.
Well, we can do that.
We take 9 o'clock tables. Don't worry.
We can do that.
We can do that.
All right. Okay.
So just so you know, people, I don't cook during restaurant week at all. So I rely on the restaurants to feed my family that week, and I purchase the food.
Yes.
Purchase. There's no free. How are the restaurants going to survive if you're not supporting them financially, right? You have to go in and purchase. And to be honest with you, I also want to make a point here too that it's better to dine in or take out than use the food delivery apps because the restaurant ends up with more money. So I just want patrons to think about that. Be intentional. Find somebody. I know a lot of people, they don't drive, they live in buildings, condos, and they typically would order on the food delivery apps. But I would say find somebody to take you there. Call ahead, order the Prix Fixe, and go and pick it up. The restaurant will end up with more money in their pocket. Right, guys?
Great point. Great point.
Or
right.
dine-in, Sharon, I know there in your locations, you can actually buy the food and sit inside the restaurant, like a Tim Hortons or a Wendy's. So you can do that too. And with Rachel, you can order ahead, pick up, go and pick it up. Don't use the food delivery apps. All right?
Okay, I still need to hear from Sharon and Chef Reza about, coming out of the pandemic. What have been the positive successes you've seen for your business?
Go ahead, Sharon.
Oh, for me, I have less staff going home sick because from pandemic, everyone's so careful, they keep their distance. So, like before pandemic, oh, that one has the flu, that one. Now we have no one with the flu because they're so careful. Everybody's making sure, that they're, safe. So that's one thing. And the operation, I've pivoted it with the food truck, and the pandemic has caused me to use the food truck more. And now I am so used to it that that's my go-to right now.
All right.
The food truck.
Nice.
I would say that the one of the positives is it's that resilience. You know what I mean? Facing the challenges or having to get through the challenges, it actually is thickening your skin and helping you to build more skills, sharpen up. And I feel like where we were 5 years ago is nowhere where we look very different now, and we're going to look different a couple of years from now. In addition, I would say partnerships and collaboration, especially locally with other businesses struggling and facing similar challenges. We've done things together like collabs to help us get amplified through their clientele and vice versa. And I think that also too, Rachel and I are both part of. Is it okay to say it? Part of can I say
Foodpreneur Lab?
Yeah,
Foodpreneur Lab.
Yes.
100%.
Don't
That's one of our sponsors as well.
No, I don't want to breach confidentiality.
thank
I just asked permission. I thought, I should do that.
No,
Okay.
well,
100%.
there's no Foodpreneur Labs. Janice and Marie are going to be on the show on Monday, so thank you for the promo.
Yeah, Foodpreneur Lab, and we were also part of another one with the. I was also part of another one with the Canadian Black Chamber of Commerce, and having access to those types of supports, especially within and by our community, is a different type of strengthening and support.
Yeah, that event was really good, Reza and Rachel. The Foodpreneur event, I thought it was fantastic. Well done. And it's good that I got to meet you, Reza, finally in person and taste your food and everything. Well, both of you, I tasted the food from both of you. But it was a great event.
Yes, it was.
Let's have we got some catch up. We're in a little bit of bonus time. Ladies, can we take maybe maximum, hopefully not more than 5 more minutes? I know you got busy schedules. 5 more minutes, good?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So just catching up here. Althea says, loved potluck when it was on Weston Road.
Not a location.
Yeah. How many, all these different locations. Quick question here from Christopher asking, what, well, that's a too detailed food business franchise. I would say speak to Sharon offline on that. That's a whole question itself. But here's another one. If you were to start your business all over again, pre or post pandemic, what would you do different?
Yes, good question, Christopher.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I think that I would probably go in the direction that Sharon has, in that, I mean, I don't know what it's like in Toronto. In Ottawa, you can't have a food truck without having a commercial kitchen attached. But I think that I would probably look for an opportunity to get a food truck. So I would say that post-pandemic, if I have an opportunity to do that, then I will. And maybe look to collab with somebody maybe to share on that.
Chef Reza, I love how you mentioned collaboration. I'm a very big proponent that going forward for many entrepreneurs, no matter what business they're in, collaboration and data are 2 foundational things that you need.
Agreed.
Anyone else in regards to that question?
I don't think I would personally change anything. I think I'm too young in my business to dwell on my mistakes just yet, because I'm learning. Like, I don't have experience as a business owner. I have experience as a chef and pastry chef, and that is what I know how to do. So The food is not something I'm concerned about. The logistics of the business, I can't fault myself for not knowing things by having no experience running a business. So all of this is a learning process of what not to do. And I'm small enough now that it's safe for me to make mistakes and still be able to feed myself. So for now, I'm okay with how my journey has gone so far.
Good.
Sharon.
Yeah, for some reason I am not hearing. I can barely hear. I don't know if it's my device or
We can hear you clearly.
okay. Yeah, for me, there's not much that I would change. One thing I think I would do, I would incorporate some more male help. I think there's not much that I would have changed, really.
Okay. All right.
Apart from, like I said, getting some more male help.
Okay. All right. One more question here from Christopher. With a new year upon us, how do you plan on increasing your visibility in the marketplace?
Mm-hmm. Good question again.
Mm-hmm.
Christopher's coming for us.
Yeah, well, he's a marketing guy. He has his own company, so that's why he's giving you. He's drilling down.
Well, for me, my dinner series is my way to kind of keep my visibility up because I'm not doing farmers markets through the winter. So that's a guarantee that I will be in the same spot every Tuesday. People know where to find me. If people want to pick up my pantry items, they can do it in the same spot. So that's the way that I'm going to stay relevant. And also, I have things coming up in the new year that I can't yet speak about because we're still signing contracts, but it will be seen and it will be great for visibility when we get there.
Sounds like she's going on Top Chef, Ed.
Uh-oh. Well, like I mentioned to Roger, I actually watched Top Chef Canada and US, and especially Top Chef Canada. Over the last years, they have more diversity in their contestants.
Yes.
So they're getting the message. Yes.
Tropical from Montreal. He was on it.
Yes, he's actually in the finals, by the way. So I think he's in the finals of this season. So that's good. What? Who else do we have? Anyone else want to answer that question? How are you going to increase your visibility for 2023?
I think that for us, we're definitely going to be looking at increasing, improving, and being more consistent around our social media.
Mm-hmm.
Sharon, can you hear us? Okay, I don't know if Sharon can hear us. Sharon, can you hear us? Okay.
I can barely hear. I don't know what it is, if it's my device here.
Yeah, I think it's your device.
It might be.
Yeah, because
we can hear you. We can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is we'll start winding it down. So one or two more comments here. Althea is saying, great idea to collaborate. Food trucks are vital in Toronto. We'd like to see more diversity there. Mm-hmm. And Ray says, interesting to hear that the farmers market played a significant role in the restaurateur's business growth. This is a very common approach in the southern United States.
Yeah, in Whitby, where I live, every Wednesday, they have the farmers market, and their restaurants, different, food businesses, not necessarily black, but they go there every Wednesday and they're sold out most times.
Nice. Fantastic. Well, ladies, we're going to start winding it down. And what we want to do is I'll just give each one of you a few moments to talk about your restaurant, talk about anything that's in your heart you want to talk about, you can share. So we'll first start off with Rachel. Some final words.
Okay. I am just very excited and very passionate about my food and sharing African culture and African food stories. And I want people to change their mentality of being intimidated by African food. It is no different or no scarier than any other food you've had. It's an enjoyable experience. Not everything is spicy. There is balance. I care about offering people a quality experience, and I use my training and technique in order to change people's perceptions. So I do make traditional food, but I put my twist on it because I am not who my ancestors were when they were cooking that food. I do not have the same resources. I do not have the same ingredients per se, but I use what I have locally and I create something that still embodies that African spirit through food. And I want people to feel that every time they eat a plate of my food or buy one of my products.
Mhm.
So, if you can, come and support. We have our dine-in option for Tuesday nights and then takeout for Thursday to Saturday. We are at 968 Bathurst Street on Tuesdays and 930 St. Clair West Thursday to Saturday. And you can find all of our info below and just contact us and we will hook you up with food. We want you to enjoy our culinary experience. So thank you.
Tuesday it is.
Well,
And
yeah,
much
thank
love
you.
from the Abibiman Project.
Yes, thank you
Yes.
for sharing. Thank you sharing. And Chef Reza?
Well, we're really excited to be a part of Black Restaurant Week and to be able to highlight some of our specialties, especially during this week. So, love for you to come and check out our food for take home delivery. It's also something you can gift. We've got gift cards if you want to send a great meal to someone that you love. And of course, these days when everybody's looking for some options for what they can enjoy in the office or for maybe to spice up your next celebration, don't forget to give us a call for your catering needs. You can reach us through all of the links and information below. Looking forward to hearing from you, and thanks for having us. Great to see everybody.
Quick question, Reza. The gift cards, can we purchase them online on your website?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect.
Yes,
Thank you.
good stuff. Excellent. Sharon, can you hear us?
Barely.
Okay, I'm gonna go a little
Well,
bit louder. Can you give us some final words about Potluck Restaurant?
uh, I am happy to be a part of Restaurant Week. Just want to let all our customers know that every meal we put together, every menu is put together with the customer's health in mind. And we are moving towards giving each customer the greatest smile. I know for us, they're saying that, Jamaican restaurants, they come in, when you come in, you're not served with that smile. But we're practicing, and for not just for Restaurant Week, but we're going to continue. We're going to be consistent with the smile and the love as we serve. So come on down. We're waiting on you.
Okay.
Wonderful. Well, ladies, want to thank you for taking the time out of your positive, productive schedules and continue success, past, present, and future. And we look forward to some good eating. So thank you so much. Make sure you give yourselves grace and don't just manage your time, manage your energy.
Thank you.
Have a
Thank
great day.
Take care.
Thank you. Thank you.
Take care.
Okay.
And there we go. All right. So Roger,
Hey,
you get the opportunity to close out.
yeah, ByBlacks Restaurant Week, 3 days. It starts on Monday. So the tricky thing about Restaurant Week is that a lot of the black-owned restaurants don't open on. Some don't open on Sunday. Some, what I mean, Restaurant Week starts on Monday. Anyway, most don't open on Monday. Most black-owned restaurants do not open on Monday. So some of them are going to start opening on Tuesday, and then the rest of them, all of them, I believe, open on Wednesday, with the exception of the Abibiman project, which is closed on Wednesday. But she'll have the pop-up dinner on Tuesday, and then resume the deliveries um, on Thursday, from Thursday to Saturday. So that's something to keep in mind. A lot of restaurants don't open for lunch either. Excuse me, anymore. Excuse me.
Bless you. Bless you.
Sorry, that's some blessings coming to me right there now. I know there's something very, very good that's happening this weekend. I don't know what it is yet, but I feel it. It's some good food.
Yes.
Um, the Prix Fixe menus, just to remind everybody, the Prix Fixe menus are between $20 to $40. It includes appetizer, an entree, and a dessert. In some cases, I've seen some restaurants giving up to 25% discount during that week. So, but I mean, it's a roughly somewhere between 10 to 20% that you'll be saving overall buying the special, the Prix Fixe. So definitely, try something different. Try a
Yeah.
different restaurant. I know a lot of people. I was talking to somebody and he said, "Oh, or a printer." He said, "Jerk boxes is regular," and there are about 12 restaurants in Little Jamaica, black owned. And I said, "Try something different. Try a different restaurant on the strip this time, right?" Brampton, again, I've never heard of Pier 120, so I want to go try it. They do seafood, right? The BB Man project, we tried it, but I'm gonna try it again because I think there's something that I missed. I didn't get the plantains when I got the food from her that time. So when I go back, I want the full experience, of having
Nice.
everything. But the goal is really this: go out and try the restaurant at a discounted rate, and then afterwards, whatever you like, continue to go to that restaurant and support them.
Mhm.
That's the whole thing, right? Buy black. Buy black, eat black food, be intentional about it. Just to say, you know what, if I'm going to order out, get some black food. I know a lot of people buy pizza, right? There's a black owned pizza place down in Little Jamaica.
Right.
Caribbean Slice, I believe is what it's called, right?
Yes. Yep.
They have Aki pizza, jerk chicken
Yes.
pizza,
Yes. Yes.
oxtail pizza. I mean,
Yep.
so even if you're looking at different alternatives, there's restaurants with poutine, jerk chicken poutine. Bukan has a jerk chicken Caesar wrap. It in a croissant, in a buttery croissant. Everything is made. The sauces and everything is made in house.
Right.
There's so much difference. There's jerk chicken fettuccine at Sugarcane.
Sugar cane. Yep.
Right. So, a lot of people say, "Oh, it's the same menu all over." That's not true. That is absolutely not true. I mean, Jacko's restaurant is a St. Lucian restaurant. So they have a different twist, different flavor on their stewed chicken. They do like turkey neck, cooked on like almost like a oxtail. There's so much diversity
Absolutely.
even within, as they would say, okay, there's a dominance of Jamaican restaurants, but even within the Jamaican restaurants, they do things differently. Some people do ackee spring rolls, some people do ackee pockets, some people do plantain chips. There's so many different things. So go out and try something
Absolutely.
different.
Absolutely. So there's the link that gives you all the information. Roger, I'd have a feeling we're going to clash at some food place in the next few days. But
well, we're together on a few of them.
Yes,
So,
absolutely. So we
we're
may be doing
together.
some
People want to
IG
join us.
lives at some of these places. And again, thank you. Blessings to you, Camille, and the family. Everything that ByBlacks has done, are doing, and will be doing for Black Canadians. And in fact, Blacks around the world, not just Black Canadians.
That's right. 100%.
All right. Take care, my brother. Keep the faith.
All right. Thank you
Peace.
for having me.
Pleasure is mine. All right, family. There is the link there. If all things Restaurant Week. So thank you so much, everyone, for taking the time today. Appreciate it, not taken for granted. We had an excellent 2 conversations this week with different restaurateurs throughout this country. So a few last things. I know there's some comments here. Christopher saying, great show, Dr. Vibe. Also says, big up Roger and Camille Dundas, hashtag ByBlacks. Continue to provide exceptional food and service. And he says, I love Sharon. Man, Sharon seems to have a fan club going on or something. These people love this Sharon lady. Well, let's finish it off here. So if you want to get in touch with me, there are all the different ways: website, email, YouTube and Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Also, wherever you watch this, whatever platform, please subscribe. Please subscribe, because it will give you notifications on upcoming epic conversations. And I'm going to push myself a little bit on my YouTube channel. I'm about 50 subscribers away from 1,000 subscribers. So, and if it's in your heart, please subscribe. Want to get to that big 1,000. Also, if you want to catch replays of the Morning Vibe, you can catch them on the Dr. Vibe Show on YouTube and Facebook, Afro-Caribbean Business Network on Facebook and YouTube, and Ryan Oneil Knight on YouTube. And also, one last thing, if you'd like to promote your business or service on the show, please contact me at dr.vibe at the dr.vibeshow.com. So as we finish off, this is what we always say: live your life as a dream if you can dream it. Sometimes you have to get small to get stronger. Block assumptions, then aim bigger, aim better, aim higher, aim wider. Love, faith, and respect. Remember to give yourselves grace, and go eat some good food next week. All right. God bless. Peace to all. Keep the faith. And on Monday, more food. Foodpreneur Lab, Marie and Janice on Monday. Keep the faith.